All right, guys, so watch this video for Wednesday, November 21st. Full day tomorrow, but I don't think it's going to trade like a full day with Thursday being Thanksgiving. The market's closed Thursday. I believe the market closes at 1 on Friday. So I'm expecting a pretty dead day tomorrow, but you can't always go by what I expect because I am a little bit shocked at the nastiness of the market on a holiday week. I don't recall seeing this maybe ever. So it's been a little bit weird. The SPY getting, pretty close to this where it bounced off 260 last time. So we'll see. But I think the Dow was down like, was it 550, 650 points, something crazy like that today. And pretty ugly out there. So here's what I'm going to be watching for tomorrow. Again, I'm probably only going to trade the first couple hours, so hope to catch, just one or two good setups and then start my holiday. Ross Stores, ROST, is just getting kind of that waterfall shape, big volume today. I don't know. I don't look at the chart and see any great support other than like it did a great job bouncing off the 75 area, but that's still over $7 away. But still a decent sell-off here to watch for a potential bounce. IMMY is a recent strong stock. Really nice move here that's had a couple days lower on pretty small volume compared to this nice move. So if the market catches any kind of a bid, this is a good candidate for a turn back up. ANY, huge move today. And I took a screenshot. I'm pretty proud of this today. This was an intraday screenshot I took. I literally called this as it was coming down. None of this had happened yet. I called this in chat. I said, hey, I like this as what I call a 520 touch play, which is just a 5-minute candle, 20 EMA bid, right? And the reason for it, big strong move and then a pullback on declining volume. A lot of times these things bounce off the 520, right? And you see, I practice what I preach. 3,000 shares got filled right at 316, which was maybe 4 cents from the low of that pullback. And let's go to fives here. That is literally right there where I got filled. Got a whole bunch of thank yous. Took a screenshot of some of those too, including my actual call, the ANY 520 touch idea. It's not a common setup for me, but there's also nothing tricky about it, right? Strong stock, clean pullback to the 520. And I have no problem bidding on the way down when it's a strong stock and pulling back on lower volume. Anyway, absolutely deserves to be watched tomorrow, but it is way ahead of itself now, so we'll see. But worth having on watch. PDD had earnings. And look what this thing did at the open. All right, opens here. It was on my gap play list because it had earnings and was gapping up in pre-market, and literally just falls off the map and then slowly climbs back up. I only traded this once all day, and it was, I can't remember. I think it was back up through 23 right here, and I made like 80 bucks on it because I sold some and it came back down and stopped out the rest and then climbed a little more. But when you go back to the daily, very, very strong, especially in a weak tape. And if you just glance at their earnings, it actually sounded pretty damn impressive. Again, I don't trade off that, especially on a Chinese company. Most traders have learned to be a little bit skeptical on an earnings report out of China. But who knows? Anyway, it actually was an incredible relative strength today, so I want to watch that for a potential intraday setup tomorrow. INPX, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see. It's really just kind of trodden along back here, but then the other day it popped on strong volume to 450, and then today again strong volume. Keep in mind when I say strong volume, I mean strong volume for this stock. And today, strong volume for this stock again, topping out at 436. So a potential long setup there. We'll see if it gives any kind of intraday setup tomorrow. NIO, one of the stronger stocks lately, today sold off with the market, but ended up closing pretty strong. Back slightly above its open. I do want to watch that. If it gets above today's high, that would be a break of 791. Then you got a possible whole number break, 8, and then to the left of that, you got 821 as another potential catalyst. So you do kind of have a potential stacked catalyst scenario. And most of my entries, if you watch, if you're not a member and you watch my videos at all, you know that most of my entries, I want another catalyst nearby. I call it stacked catalysts, right? Stacked catalyst trading system, if you will. I always want to have, if I take an entry right here, there's another catalyst just above. So I want those dominoes to start falling. I try to never take a trade that really has nowhere on the chart slightly above, that might be another catalyst for higher prices. Keeps me out of trouble that way. And usually when I get in a trade, I get pretty immediate results. All right, so that was INPX, NIO. Then YECO had this huge move back here, then another decent move, right? Then a lower high, and then nice volume yesterday. And I talked about this, it was on the overnight watches. It went from 486 to 782 yesterday, and then today kind of a quiet inside day. So I do want to watch this for maybe a break of today's high over 690. Then you have the whole number 7 that might be an inflection point, and then maybe it moves to 752 and over that, anything. So especially with ANY squeezing today, traders have a tendency to look for, hey, what's the next low floater that might squeeze? This is a good candidate with this setup. That's why ECO. NAK had this big spike back here on big volume, and then kind of went sideways for a while, and today's starting to curl back up on better volume today than it's had in a week and a half or so. So we want to watch that one. And then lastly, this SONO, which I said was oversold after this gap up and then 2 nasty red days. Today gap down, but closing nicely above its open. So potential for this bounce from today to continue tomorrow. That's all I've got, man. Check out our, down below, check out our Black Friday special. We've been running it for about a week, and we're going to run it through the weekend. And we'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a good night.